ये रहा यूपीए का जो लास्ट डेकेड का परफॉर्मेंस का जो लास्ट स्टेज में उनका इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ रहा है 5.3%, डिक्लाइनिंग ग्रोथ। और ये रहा मोदी जी और एनडीए का परफॉर्मेंस।
India is growing, and the rate of India's growth continues to surprise. In Q3, for which the Statistics Ministry released the numbers on February 29, India grew at the rate of 8.4%.
Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekaran used the latest GDP figures to take a jibe at the Congress-led UPA government. But politics aside, the numbers for Q3 are better than expected.
Economists were expecting a contraction due to a decline in government spending, slow growth of industrial output, and not an ideal monsoon. But the data suggests that this was made up for by a strong growth in the construction and manufacturing sectors. Here are the top 5 highlights of Q3 GDP data. The GDP projection for 2024 now stands revised as per the Q3 data. India's full-year GDP growth rate was fixed at 7.6%, up 0.3% from the earlier 7.3%. In addition to this, the NSO also revised the GDP growth for 2022-2023 to 7% against the earlier estimate of 7.2%. India's GDP growth in Q3 was mostly fueled by strong performance of the manufacturing and construction sectors. A double-digit growth in the manufacturing sector and construction sector were responsible for the better-than-expected performance as per the NSO. The manufacturing sector expanded 11.6% annually in the third quarter, whereas the construction sector grew by 9.5%. Along expected lines, the agriculture sector contracted by 0.8% in the December quarter. The sector had witnessed a growth of 1.6% during the previous quarter, whereas the growth rate stood at 5.2% during the same quarter in previous financial year. The slump in the agricultural sector was a result of poor monsoon conditions and El Niño impact. While government spending declined in the third quarter, private consumption jumped in the country. The government consumption declined to 3.2%, whereas the private consumption rose by 3.5% in the December quarter from a year earlier. There was a marginal decline in the share of exports in GDP during the December quarter. The share of exports stood at 22.2% during the quarter, declining from 23.3% in the same quarter of previous year. At the same time, there was a decline in the share of imports in the GDP, which stood at 24% during the quarter compared to 27.5% during the previous quarter. Commenting on the GDP numbers, the Chief Economic Advisor V. Anantha Nageswaran said that the GDP numbers remain strong. At the same time, he noted that while growth prospects appear bright, external factors pose a downside risk. What do you think are the reasons behind the robust growth in India's GDP? Don't forget to share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and share this video and to subscribe to The Mail.